everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And today on our episode for Social Divas, we will be talking about the disappearance of the Martin family. So the Martin family is from Portland, Oregon, and they have disappeared in the year 1958. The exact date is, to be exact, December 7th of the year 1958 in the Columbia River Gorge during a day trip to gather greenery for their Christmas decorations. So there in the family, the missing include husband Kenneth, his wife Barbara, and 3 of their daughters. Barbara, which they nicknamed her Barbie, which is such a sweet name to nickname your daughter. Virginia and Susan. So they have an older son. The elder son Donald was in the United States Navy, and he was stationed in New York at the time of the disappearance. And several months after the family vanished, the bodies of Susan and Virginia, which is the 2 youngest kids, were discovered downstream on the shores of the Columbia River, roughly about 30 miles, which is 48 kilometers apart from each other. Police initially speculated that the family's car may have crashed into the river, though the circumstances surrounding the event could not be fully explained. Further complicating the case was the discovery of a stolen handgun and the arrest of 2 ex-convicts in the area that day of the family's disappearance, but the investigators were unable to determine if the incident were connected in any way to the family disappearance. And the whereabouts of Kenneth, Barbara, and Barbie remains undetermined, and until today their vehicle has never been recovered. The family's disappearance has been described as one of the most baffling mysteries in Oregon history, and it sparked the greatest manhunt the state had undertaken at the time. So let's go back to the day of the disappearance. On the evening of December 6, 1958, Kenneth and Barbara decided to attend a Christmas party before returning home at, I don't want to be giving out the address, but before returning home on the 56th Avenue in the northeast of Portland. The couple had made plans for the next day to take a trip to go and get Christmas decorations. And in the late morning of December 7, Kenneth and Barbara left their home with their 3 daughters in their 1954 cream and red colored Ford Country Squire station wagon. Barbie, who is the eldest daughter, is a freshman at Grant High School. The family's eldest son, as I said earlier, who is at that time age 28, was in the US Navy and is stationed in New York. the family decided to head east of the Columbia River Gorge. So the knowledge of where the Martins were specifically throughout the day is sparse. Dean Baxter, who is the gas station proprietor, reported that he encountered the family when they purchased $5 US. 5 gallons for a truck, that is a lot of gasoline. And a car, let me check this. How much gallons gas? Actually, it's not that much, because a small car holds up to 12 gallons, while larger cars can hold up to 15 gallons or more. But even that, like, why only purchase? So say that their car is small enough to hold to hold 12 gallons. And your car is about halfway done. So shouldn't you be collecting about 10 gallons? Or actually 5 to 6 is about there. My maths is terrible. From his store in Cascade Locks around 4 p.m. So actually you can go about 2 days maximum without taking any fuel, if I am right. Depends how far from where their house is to go and get Christmas decorations. Because if in the US, where you're living around a neighborhood where between your home, the gas station, and the shopping center, it can be quite far. It can be a mile or 2 miles. 5 gallons is a little, like a little, it's like very little if you're driving 2 miles from your house to the shopping center and back. Half of your gallons will be gone, so you'll be needing to refuel at least 10 gallons if you're not pushing it. And according to eyewitness who saw the family that day, Kenneth was reportedly wearing a tan zip-up jacket and dark slacks, while Barbara wore a navy blue coat, plaid jacket, and a black print dress. Barbie was reportedly dressed in jeans, rolled cuffs, and beige coat. So they have, since the death, a lot of them that has, with a lot of these alleged sightings, all comes from ex-convicts, which sometimes with ex-convicts you don't really know how much is true and how much is like literally just hearsay basically. And so the recovery for Susan and Virginia on May 1st of the year 1959 3 months after the tire tracks were reported, a river drilling rig near the Dales reportedly hooked something of substantial weight to its anchor. However, it came dislodged before it could be put to the surface. In the early morning hours of May 2nd, a fisherman and his wife reported seeing what appeared to be two bodies floating downstream near casted logs. They later encountered them near Bonneville Dam, which is already quite far down from where they were originally crashed. But the only thing is that why take so long? Okay, on the May 1st, I understand, because like it can be anything. But if on the May 2nd, a fisherman and his wife reported two bodies floating, shouldn't the cops be called by them? By then? It's only on the afternoon of May 3rd, the body of Susan was discovered on the north bank of Columbia River near Camas, Washington, roughly 70 miles, which is 110 kilometers west of Dales. Her identity was positively confirmed via dental records, and the following morning, May 4th, the body of Virginia is discovered near Bonneville Dam, roughly 46 miles, which is 74 kilometers west of Dales, and is also confirmed by dental records. And autopsies were both performed on Susan and I suddenly forgot what the sister's name is. So what am I talking about? The autopsies were performed on both Virginia and Susan, and they said that they believe that both girls have been shot to death. But however, according to the medical examiner, no such injuries were found. So that is when there's a conflict. So by the year 1966, 8 years after the family's disappearance, the elder son and the only surviving member of the family inherited the family's modest estate, which has been in mandated probate for 7 years. The remains of Susan and Virginia remain at the Riverview Abbey Mausoleum in Portland, unclaimed for over a decade after their deaths. The only question is, why didn't her brother go and claim it? Isn't that suspicious? On December 30th, 1969, the urns containing their remains were retrieved by an unknown individual. The girl's paternal grandmother, Margaret Martin, had died 2 days before, and the girl's remains were claimed while funeral arrangements were being made for her. For most of the latter part of the 20th century, search efforts to recover the remaining three family members were not made. However, in July of 1999, Oregonian journalist Margie Boulay had been very interested in the case, but as of 2021, the remains of Kenneth, Barbara, and Barbie remain undiscovered, and their vehicle has not been found. As for their eldest son, Donald, nothing has been heard from him. So my only question about him is, what is there an alibi for Donald? I'm not trying to put the entire blame on him yet, because there's not much concept, like not much, what do you say, there's not much proof that it says that he didn't do it, but at the same time there is not much proof that he did do it either, because there's a lot of things going on. There is a big age gap between Donald and their oldest daughter, Barbara, because Donald is 28 and Barbara is 14, so there is a 14 years age gap. And whether did they have a lot of hatred from Donald's side, because maybe the parents were spending more time on his 3 younger siblings and less time on him. And it did say that an unknown person claimed the bodies, not the bodies, but claimed the cremated remains of Susan and Virginia. And if it's not Donald, then who it is? Because I get it that, like, what I didn't get is that if those two are my sisters and they're already being cremated, no matter how much it hurts, why aren't you, like, claiming their remains? And then you can say that I buried it at this place. I hope I'm making sense.